Okay? She's going to want to know what I did in 2 years because she needs to know a record of what I did, personal as well as my business, because remember, I'm going to sign that personal guarantee. And Peggy's going to also want to know my interim statement, and that's everything that I've done from January of 2009 up until now. And she needs to know, am I growing it? Am I recovering from 2008? Have I recovered? And your credit is so important because when most banks, when you start with the credit, if your credit is usually below 680, and that's below 680, it's going to go into a system because you've turned all these documents into Peggy, and now she's put you into the system. You've got the application, you've got the tax return. We fill out the form to go to the IRS so they can verify my income. I've got the actual interim statement, and now she sends it to the analyst that's going to actually analyze your loan. Before it gets to the analyst, it gets to a point system. And the first point is credit, because we pull your credit. Because keep in mind, we don't see your business. We don't know what your business really looks like. We just know what you're telling us right now. So once your credit comes up, if it's below that 680, in most cases, okay, there are cases that you can go another route. But if it's below the 680, you don't get an opportunity to present if you were profitable 2008 or 2009. That if you were profitable, because the system is going to automatically reject you. And when the system automatically rejects you, you don't have an opportunity to prove anything as stated on documents. And you may say, wait a minute, Peggy, I had a great year 2008, 2009. What are you talking about on decline? Because your credit score was 630. Peggy's going to say to you, I'm so sorry, it's credit, we can work on getting that up. And you can work on getting that up. It can happen. In most cases, it's due to, just as my friend over here, Todd said, the 5 rules, it's due to that. But that's what the bank's going to look for, and we're basically, if it's not at 680 or above, you're not going to get an opportunity to present how good your business is doing.
Very good. Very good information. Okay, next question, we'll go to Todd. When a business owner's credit score is not acceptable, which both of you have addressed that, which is excellent, for a loan, what are the other avenues that I can take?
For about $1,000, you can buy somebody else's Social Security number. I'm kidding. I was in Austin yesterday with the Attorney General's office and FTC talking about all the bad credit repair scams and debt settlement issues and foreclosure rescue scams out there. And the ones that you see on TV all the time, maybe middle of the day, maybe middle of the night, you know, they club you over. You really should try it. You should really try it. That's probably your flag. So, as a segue into this, I just want to say, I think we've discussed here, why would a personal consumer credit counseling agency be with a bank for business owners? Well, Kem already demonstrated, for a lot of business owners that we talk to, you intertwine your personal and your business. It's never easy where it's just business loans and never spend $1 of my own money on my business. And for those of you that are business owners, you know that's the case. So they are intertwined, and your personal credit history is important for your business loans and vice versa. So, especially if you've got your business lines and they are tied to your personal lines. Say, well, I had a good year. My business didn't, but then it's impacting you for personal. So, again, we can't underscore how important your credit is right now. So, we talked about the categories earlier. So, what are the things you can do to improve your credit? Well, there's going to be two objectives, and you have to decide what your objective is. If your objective is specifically a loan, a specific loan. So you go to Comerica and they said your credit says you need to remedy this item and that item, and once you do, we'll approve you. Well, your objective then is remedying 2 items. You're not really caring about what it means to your credit. You just know that you need to have those 2 things taken care of so you can get approved to a loan. The majority of folks looking, they're saying, how can I improve my credit overall? You say, well, why is there a difference? There's some things that you can do with paying off payments and delinquencies that may not have a gain for your score, but they'll have a gain in your bank's eyes, and getting you approved. So you need to make sure you're focused on what your objective is. So what are we talking about with these 5 areas and what we can do to improve? Well, if you're not current, that's the one that's killing that big 35% score. You need to get current and you need to stay current. If you've had delinquencies in the past, the only thing that heals those wounds are time and good behavior moving forward. So if you had a 30-day late from 3 months ago, well, the worst thing you can say is, well, I missed that 1 month's payment, but I've made a payment every month since. Are you current? How many think you're current at that point? Okay. How many think you're not? And then the rest of you are not participating. All right, very good. We're a small group. Let's all have fun with this.
Ask a question again.
All right. So imagine this: you miss a payment in June, but well, your payment in July went to the month of June. So now you're late in July. Then you made your payment in August, and it goes to July. Now you're late in August. So you've set up 3 30-day delinquencies. So if you're going to miss a month, you need to make a double payment basically. Get it caught up to where you're current, and then you're just going to have that 1 30-day. Now the difference is, if you don't make the payment after you miss that 1 month, then it instead becomes a 60. And a 60 is worse than a 30, but if you've got 2 30s, it's not quite like math where 2 30s equals 160, but neither of them are good. So you need to focus on getting current and staying current. And remember, the only thing that heals those wounds of the past is that good behavior. So if it's a miss 3 months ago, don't miss for the next couple of years. And then in 2 years from now, that one miss, it's going to mean a lot less. Because they're going to look at what's happened most recently. And the last year and 2 years are what's most important. So you've got a miss from 5 years ago. Well, think of it as a cut. You get a cut, and it starts to heal, and you may get a scab, and then the scab will fall off, and it's kind of red, and then over time it disappears, and you never realize you had a cut. That's kind of what happens on your credit score. So the longer since the injury, the credit injury as we are, the less it means to you. So if you're focusing on that area, get current, stay current. If you're talking about area number 2, that 30% of how much you owe, and this is going to sound like brain surgery, pay down some of your debt. I know, there's no laughter on that one. All right. I don't want to pander to the crowd. You know, credit isn't always the most fun thing to talk about, so we try to be engaging here. So the more debt you have, the more leveraged you are, the riskier you are. So the less you owe, the less risky you are. Now you can say, but Todd, you just talked about that utilization ratio. So shouldn't I just open up a whole bunch more credit and I won't use it and I'll look better? Well, in theory, let's say you've got $50,000 of debt on a $50,000 credit line. You're 100% utilized. You're in deep. You could say, I'm going to just double my credit lines. I'm going to go open up 10 credit cards or 10 personal lines, and I'm going to have a line of 100,000. Now I'm only 50% utilized. Great. All right, well, that ratio may look a little bit better, but the overall debt hasn't changed. Remember that new inquiries? Oh, that's been obliterated. Remember the length of credit history? Guess what? You've got a bunch of brand new accounts. So your age of your overall have now become